Greetings everyone, Napoleon Complex here, and welcome to another random battle, this time in the Ming Crisis era. So we're playing as the Ming Northern Army before 1560 versus Eastern Mongols before 1600. So we're actually right at the beginning of the period almost. So I've got some cavalry here, but they're not really great. And it's a very open battlefield. Am I the only person thinking that I'm kind of screwed here? We do have some light spear to protect against cavalry attack. I do not like this at all. Let's go. The enemy are offering fair and open battle, but against a cavalry-heavy army, this doesn't really feel very fair. Let's take a look at our options. So I've got these artillery units, which are mustered. These are medium foot. We do have some rough ground here that could help protect us. I think this is probably where we want to muster our defense. Now I've got matchlocks here. They're raw quality. I think we want to get the raw units onto the rough ground to protect them. So we muster them around here. As I said, because we're going to be facing a cavalry heavy force, I am expecting this to be difficult. Right, we'll stick some, since they can't move around as much, I'd like the ranged units to be, I'd like longer range units to go into the rough ground. I think we'll also bring the guns around to this sort of area so we can get some protection from the units on the rough, because they'll get the protected status. Now I have my own cavalry. I think we'll muster them over here where they can get some infantry support. And what I'll do is I'll have my infantry, my ranged infantry on this side, which are average quality, and I will have my melee infantry fighting with the cavalry over here. So let's go. So our army looks very small compared to the enemy, but look how spread out they are. See, as I expected, a very cavalry-centric force. And they're pushing forward on this flank, which makes sense, because obviously I don't have any presence over here. These Mongol skirmishers will be quite vulnerable to our missile troops. It's the heavier units that I have to watch out for. Right, so we know the story here. 4 units of light horse, 3 units of heavy horse. These superior cavalry are a particular danger. The right flank doesn't actually look that formidable, and I'm starting to feel more confident the more I look at this situation. We'll drop our cavalry in, or we'll drop our infantry into formation. And push the guns up. You'll also have to turn to move this in this direction. The idea is to have you about here, and we'll move the guns up. Well, you know, why have any of my units on in the open? We can use the rough ground to shelter an entire force. And then I'll use my artillery to force the enemy to advance. Because they're mounted, we'll win the firepower battle. You can see the AI starting to select their units. Right, push up. Occupy that area of the rough ground. This does mean I'm kind of presenting raw troops to the enemy first, but with the rough ground they should be able to handle it. See, cannons go here. We're starting to rumble the cannons into position here. And let's drop here, as planned. And turn to here, they can kind of form up on this ground here. And we can have the archers behind them. Fantastic. Well, the thing is, the regimental guns won't be able to fire from behind another unit, so that's something for me to think about. Next, haven't moved them yet. Right, that's fine. Okay, next turn. So this could actually work out for us because these units will be able to turn and face the incoming skirmishers. So these will be our best troops. And protected cannon, we should be able to fight off the Mongol skirmishers. I can always borrow cavalry from the other flank to do a countercharge. Right, what can we fire at? Fire at the general's unit. And then I'm going to turn to face this group of incoming interlopers. The only thing is the cannons from this angle are going to block my line of fire. Let's see. The bows won't have that problem. But they won't have that problem sitting a little bit further back as well. Right. That's where we're going. The problem is we are obviously getting chased down by the enemy skirmishers now. So it may take a little bit of fire to our backs. At least those guns are protected now. Move them into position. Set up the guns. And now our cavalry and infantry forces in position here as well. I'm actually going to hang this unit back. It might need to sprint over and help with this situation here. Next turn. Okay, good. They're now right within range of our guns. Yeah. Skirmishers, they're fast. This could actually give me a bit of a problem. They can't exert a zone of control though, because they're only light horse. Right, I want you to move to there. I want you to turn around and say hello. And yep, just keep going. So we'll get to a degree of safety first. Oh, we can fire a bit further, right, okay. That's with the light guns though. And here we're obviously facing the enemy coming in through this way. That is the biggest, and we just disrupted a unit of the Mongols' best cavalry. Just drop them back behind the infantry for the moment, and then we can do a counter charge if it looks like they're getting too threatening. So we'll be able to turn around and face the threat next turn. In fact, let's see where the enemy are. Might actually turn to threaten this tile here. Next turn. I think our poor guns are going to get shot to pieces. Shot too soon. So ideally we wanted to cause some damage to this force before the rest of their tribesmen can get into position. Oh good, they're coming in close. I was worried that they just skulked from range. Unfortunately, yeah, it is mostly a case of that. Bear in mind I set those cannons up thinking that I was going to be mostly confronting this force from the north. But their flanking force actually ended up coming in first. Uh-oh. Right, so, okay, they're disrupted. This situation here is by far the bigger threat. If we could possibly try and get a fragmentation on them, please. That's looking unlikely now. Well, they're just skirmishers. And they're just Mongol tribesmen. They're not the really scary cavalry. Thing is, if I want to move to there, I'm coming into charge range of that unit. We can hold out here a little bit longer. The guns will delay them for a while. What I suggest we do is bring this unit to here. We'll fire at them. Really just try and leather the units on this side of the battlefield. Still not having any luck with disruptions. Fine, move to here. I still want the cavalry to stay back. Oh wait, these are melee infantry. Well, I guess it gives the enemy something to think about other than my poor threatened medium foot. Finally managed to fragment them, but we're bound to get fragmentation in return. Okay, maybe not. That was very lucky. Right. You know, this is just skirmishers, but we do have these Mongol tribesmen coming in. Right, they are within range for a hammering, so give them one. Fire it there, fire there. They are not within charge range because of the rough ground, so we're fine. And just keep them in reserve for the minute. Right, next turn. We'll see if the Mongols manage to break onto the rough ground. Watch their cohesion, because of course if they lose cohesion, they don't have the protection of the rough ground. And that's something cracked. Excellent. Exquisite luck. And they've rallied up. Okay, so as planned, we're repelling this group first. So, you're archers. You're well suited to this. Okay, so not really enough room for you to do much here. You can probably help us out on this flank. Now this is where the Arquebusiers can really start to do some damage. We've already disrupted them. Why don't you go for a fragmentation? And with that unit basically extirpated, let's see if we can cause some damage to this group as well. Okay, and turn around and hit them here as well, but now we're going to take a lot of fire here. I couldn't cause a disruption. So now they are going to take casualties. They are going to disrupt soon. Who did I hit besides them? Let's see. See if you can get a lucky hit on those skirmishers, because I think they've already taken fire. They might wobble a little bit. Now, since I know that they are disrupted, I frankly do not fancy my chances in a fight with those cavalry anyway. So we will actually we'll move up our reserve and we will start to directly confront the enemy cavalry. So I can bring that power to bear as well. And remember, our archers can fire over the top of it, over the top of other units, and now we've disrupted 3 of them. I do still have these Mongol. Oh, they're routing away, so we're definitely taking the upper hand here. Indisciplined fire. Yeah, we're going to get absolutely peppered there. Well, they're average troops, but... Well, they are average troops. I'm surprised they've been quite so indisciplined. Maybe our guns will be able to score an extra disruption. This looks like a rough turn for us. Yep. And they pulled that unit away before I could break it. Okay, one disruption. Things could have been worse given the situation. And they fragmented. Right, if we can score a fragmentation on this group here and then break that unit. So, shoot them in the face and then blow them apart with the cannon to further lower them. Ah, no luck there. You know, have that group shoot as well. No, we're not. But it might, because they've taken so many casualties, it might increase the risk of a panic. So that's the unit they're best suited to attacking. Still couldn't get them to shake. Right, hit them one more time, and I think after that we pretty much just have to accept that didn't go the way we wanted it to go. I'll turn and start shooting down these skirmishers. Anyone else who hasn't shot? To be honest, you can probably help us with this situation here. It's starting to get a bit serious. Okay. We are seriously weakening that unit to skirmishers. Okay. You know, all hands on deck. We're not going to cause a cohesion test, but they are probably going to have to pull back as well. And they can't keep losing soldiers forever. Eventually this force is going to crack. Next turn. 24%. Now they rallied up. That could mean they might charge into us on my cavalry. Might actually... Well, they're only average or superior. But they've taken so many casualties that I don't think it matters. Even if they did charge into us, we'd still have the advantage in that fight. Okay, well done for standing firm. So obviously infantry units are a lot bulkier than cavalry units. They can stand this kind of fire. The cavalry units cannot. And they've auto-broken due to the sheer amount of fire we were throwing at them. You're at long range fire anyway, so just hit them where you are. This unit's going to take that fire at some point anyway, so have them do their job. Right, 5. Did you rally up? Yes, you did. And you're the average quality unit. Right, you take the fire. We finally got rid of them through auto break. They fought hard. Right, we managed to stand all the incoming fire. Just start having a go at them. And I think these guys have had it. Yeah, they fragmented. I can actually probably turn my attention to what's going on the other flank now. Tempting to charge actually and see if they'll just break automatically. But I think what I'll do instead is I'll just ignore these guys now and I'm going to start coming round on those Mongol cavalry who are still engaging my forces over here. This unit, since they've fragmented, can turn to help us deal with this situation. So if I turn here, we can then... Oh, of course, crossbows. Well, at least we can hit the Commander-in-Chief. Just shoot them with the guns. They've not got much left in them anyway. This won't take long now. So of course superior troops will rally up from time to time, but they're no longer going to be able to take part in the battle. And they are going for my unprotected guns. Well, my protected guns, but I'm not going to be able to stop from charging into my guns from here. They are taking a lot of casualties from this concentrated bow fire. Well, I say fire, bow loose shots. It looks like they've suddenly cracked. Oh, well done to the cannons. And with that was obviously a very easy battle. We had rough ground, and we were facing a cavalry heavy force. If that happened in the open, it would have been a much hairier affair, because I would have been trying to fight off any disruptions could have been exploited immediately by cavalry charges. But I'm actually surprised. The Ming, given that they were doing pretty badly, I think, in this period, seem to actually be the better force than the Mongols. I would rather lead them into battle than these mounted warriors have to rely on bow fire to first of all disrupt the enemy before they can charge in. Maybe this went my way simply because I was in cover. Let me know in the comments what you think. I've been Napoleon Complex. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.